Good day, viewers. You are welcome back to Tindanious Maths Tutorials. If this is your first time chancing on my YouTube channel, subscribe, like, share and comment for more interesting videos and updates. I know you've always been on tenterhooks waiting for me to proceed with a concept of factorials or factorial concept, right? Today we are going to talk about non-perfect factorials, right? Good. Now, before you would appreciate this topic to the core, let us do a little bit of recap on backward factorial, right? Good. Now, we said for backward factorial, we said that, okay, to find the backward factorial of a number, say 120. All right, in other words, what is the backward factorial of 120? The number is simply 5 what? Factorial. In other words, when you punch 5 factorial onto the calculator, you straight away what? Get 120. Now the process of you now reversing to the very start, or the process of you reversing to why the answer is 120 is known as what? Backward what? Factorial. As the name speaks for its own self. Backward means what? Reversal. Is that also good? So let's show that indeed 5 factorial equals 120. So what do, viewers? So I said you begin with that number given in question, right? And the number here is what? It's 120. So first and foremost, you start dividing this number, starting with the integer 2, the number 2. Then you divide it consecutively until you get to a divisor which is 1. When you get to 1 and it doesn't give you any remainder, then that is the backward factorial of that number. What am I trying to say, viewers? So I have 120, then you divide it by your divisor, but start from the number 2. Why am I saying 2? Because if you even start from 120 divided by 1 still yields the same number, 120. So start with what? With the next what? Divisor. And divide it consecutively. So 120 divided by 2 gives what? 60. Is that also? Alright. Then you begin, your next number begins with what? Or your next number is what? Is 60, right? Then you divide it by the next divisor after 2. And what's the next divisor after 2? Is 3, right? This way. Then, so 60 divided by 3 is what, viewers? That is what? 20. Alright? Then you pick 20 this way, alright? Then you divide it by the next divisor, or the next number after 3. And what's the next number after 3, viewers? It is what? It's 4. This way. So 20 divided by 4 gives what? 5. Alright? Viewers, you do this until you get to the number 1. Then you stop eventually, right? So what do I do? Have I gotten to 1? No. So that means I have to proceed. So you pick the number 5 this way. Then divided by, viewers, the next divisor after 4 is what? It's 5. So here becomes your 5. So what do you have? 5 divided by 5 gives what? 1. As simple as that. So because this number, okay, is equal to the divisor, 5 is equal to 5. So therefore, you pick that common number, which is your 5, then you attach factorial to it. So therefore, 5 factorial gives what? 120. So the process of you doing this is what? Is what is known as what? A backward factorial. In other words, these numbers are perfect, right? Why we say they are perfect? Because we have what? 5 divided by 5 is equal to 1. And what is the remainder? The remainder is 0. So we don't have what? Any remainder. So this is what? A perfect what? Factorial. Now in this video, we are going to talk about numbers that are not perfect. Alright? So that means upon you doing your division, you should even get what? A number 1. So for non-perfect factorials, you also follow the same concept, the same analogy. But here lies the case, you will not arrive or get to the integer 1. So you will get, how do you know whether a number is a non-perfect factorial or not? Viewers, when you get to this side where you arrive or you get a fraction or a decimal, then it is not what? A perfect factorial. So viewers, for non-perfect factorial, the conclusion would be this. So we say that since we don't have an exact or a perfect what division, then non-perfect factorials do not have a valid factorial. In other words, we don't have what? A backward factorial for non-perfect numbers or integers. That's what we are trying to say. That will always be your what? Your conclusion. So viewers, let's see how we can appreciate non-perfect factorials. Okay, so find the backward factorial of 100. Okay, this is very trivial. All right, so what are we supposed to do? Begin with that number in question, which is 100, right? So we have solution. All right, so viewers, we have our number 100, then you divide it by your divisor. Begin with the number 2, because when you start from the number 1, you still get that same result. So why should you worry yourself? So we have a 2, all right? 100 divided by 2 gives what? 50, all right? Then you pick your 50. Remember, we are going to divide it by consecutive what? Divisor until you get to 1, then you stop. Let's see. 50 divided by, viewers, the next number after 2 is what? It's 3. So what do I have? So we have 50 divided by what? By 3. We are getting what? 16.6667, right? So I have what? 16.667, right? Good. So viewers, I cannot proceed, right? So we say what? This is what? Not perfect. This is what? A non-perfect. Alright? So we said what? Since what? 100, okay, has no what? Exact division, alright? Has no exact division. Therefore, there is what? No valid. There is no what? Valid what? Factorial for what? For 100. In other words, there is no. So in other words, there is no backward factorial, okay, of what? Of 100. As simple as that. So since 100 has no exact division, there is no valid factorial for 100. In other words, there is no backward factorial of 100. Okay, so you just can state it as what? There is no valid factorial. You need to show a little bit of workings, all right? Okay. So viewers, let me consider the last example, all right, to draw the curtains down. Now, find the backward factorial of, say, 150. Okay, viewers. So, we will start or begin with the number 150, right? So I have my 150 over here. So divided by the integer 2, all right? So what is 150 divided by 2? So we have what? 75. So I take my 75 then divided by the next number after 2 is what? Is 3. So I have what? Divided by 3. So I have what? 25. Then I'll pick my 25. Then divided by the next number after 3, which is what? Which is 4, which is equal to. So if I divide this by 4, I'm getting a decimal. So I said whenever you get a decimal or a fraction, then that means it's what? It is not a perfect factorial. So I have 6.225. So we say what? Since what? So since the division. So since the division is not what? It's not exact. All right. So there is no what? Integer. Okay. So there is no integer backward factorial of 150. In other words, it doesn't have what? A perfect, or 150 is not a perfect what? Factorial. All right. So viewers, this is the end to this simple topic. But viewers, the question is, look, I want to throw a challenge to you. The question is, so if we are saying 150 is a non-perfect factorial, in other words, it is not a perfect factorial, then how do we evaluate non-perfect factorial? All right. So this is your assignment. All right. So you can clearly indicate everything in the comment section for review. All right. So viewers, let me just speak something little about the extension of it. So viewers, we can, or mathematicians, employ, a formula, all right, a concept, a topic. We are going to employ, all right, the specialized. So we're going to employ the specialized inverse approximation. Okay, to evaluate non-perfect what? Factorials. More specifically, we call it what? The Sterling's. So this is what? Have the Sterling's inverse what? Approximation to evaluate what? Non-perfect factorial. As simple as that. So others also use what we call the gamma what? Function. That is your research. That is your assignment. I'll see you next time for more interesting videos and updates. Remember to share, like, subscribe, and comment. All right? I'll keep you posted. Bye.